Hey guys, someone asked me yesterday what changed and how are you glowing like this? And honestly, this made me really laugh because she is absolutely right. 6 months ago, I was that girl who couldn't even look at herself in the mirror without crying. I had puffy eyes, I felt super lost, and it felt like nobody could love me at all. I was the girl who was refreshing her Instagram page just to find anything that would give me some kind of closure. I was the girl who couldn't really eat because of the stress. I couldn't sleep and I kept asking myself, what did I do wrong? And you know what? If you're watching this and you are that person right now, I see you. I was like you. And I need you to know that the version of me sitting right here in front of you, feeling completely free, feeling completely at peace, fully detached, this version was built from all the pain, all the ashes I had to go through. This video is for you, my friend. Now listen, here is what nobody tells you about a heartbreak. Sometimes you just have to lose yourself completely before you can find who you really are. And I remember that exact moment when I hit rock bottom. I was sitting on my bathroom floor feeling numb, like, how do you describe that? You know that sound when a heart monitor flatlines? That beeping that turns into silence? That feeling of that emptiness, that quietness? That is exactly how I felt. Left alone, abandoned. And this was something repetitive in my life. And in that moment, while I was missing this person, I asked myself this question. Why am I missing someone so hard when they walked away from me so easily? How can I miss this person when I was actually missing the image I created in my head? It was not reality. And that question and that realization, that changed everything for me. Before all of this happened, deep down, I felt something isn't right. But I couldn't see clearly, because I was in love. And you know what I did? I prayed. I said, God, if this is not for me, if this is not for my highest good, please show me in a way that I cannot ignore anymore. And let me tell you, he showed. Felt like my world, my life was crumbling. But now, looking back, I was actually being rebuilt. God took away from me what was not right for me. God was protecting me because God knows my dreams, my future. He knows. So I flew back home to my safe space, like crying, confused. And I remembered while I was at the airport a promise I'd made myself years ago, and it kept coming up. And I said, never again will I lose myself in someone else's story. Never again. And when I look back, the healing wasn't pretty, okay? But here is what really helped me to go through it and to rebuild me. I journaled, and you can do this too. I got everything out on paper, like every messy thought. But I also redirected my energy toward what I actually wanted to create in my life. My dreams, my goals, the version of myself that I was becoming. Because I also reminded myself of the fact I'm not going to give any event or any person from the past the power over my future. These are just boundaries to live by. And I started also going back to my favorite coffee spot again, even though I didn't feel like going out at all. But I felt like I had to be in a different energy. What I also did, and highly recommend to do this as well, I began to take care of stray cats in my neighborhood because there is something about caring for innocent beings that heal your heart just through pure love. And I focus on healing my heart by genuinely loving again, just in a different way. But of course, I still miss this person. Of course, I was still hoping that he would just turn up and say, I am so sorry. But let me tell you something. That fantasy of them coming back wasn't about love, my friend. I knew that. I knew this was my trauma wanting confirmation that I was good enough. And I was so conscious of this, so aware that my wounded self was just looking for a band-aid to cover the wound I had. But I also didn't push the pain away. I allowed myself to think of this, to feel all of this, but I knew better, if that makes sense. I still chose me. I still didn't abandon myself. I still chose self-respect. I still chose self-worth. I truly believe that the pain is there, but the choices is up to us if we make them from love and not from our wounded self. And when someone reaches out wanting you back, because they often do, I'm going to leave one sentence. And this is what I kept repeating to myself when that person reached out to me wanting me back. It was like, there is no point fighting for me now. You should have fought not to lose me in the first place. And this sentence became my truth, my boundary, and my freedom. And realizing that I was like this was like, whoa, girl, you really grew. You really love yourself. There's so much self-worth, self-respect. I was not like this, but I was so impressed by myself because I finally chose me. And now looking back, it wasn't love because I was anxious the whole time. I kept second guessing myself. I was making myself smaller, and that is not love. That is just that other person was putting his chaos on me. Because I know that real love makes you feel peaceful, not anxious. And of course, there are things you work on together. But if he lowers you to a certain level, it is not love. It is a lesson. I'm not calling the other person out, but sometimes, you're not a good match. And you know what I choose to do? I put the lessons in my pocket and I leave the past in the past. And I'm just focusing on my future. Because that's what I deserve. And that is what you deserve. And this is also a lesson I really want to share with you. Because when someone starts projecting their insecurities onto you, accusing you of things you'd never do, trying to make you feel like you're the problem, you have a choice in that moment. You either defend yourself endlessly or you set a boundary. And here is what I did. I chose boundaries over defending myself. Because here is what I learned. Choose your peace over proving your point. Choose your peace over defending yourself. Because when you know who you are, other people's projections cannot shake you. You want to know how I knew I was truly over it? One of my friends brought up his name in a conversation, and I actually felt nothing. And when you can just look back and again, put the lessons in your pocket, but still choose to look to your future, when you don't want them back, when you can finally move forward while genuinely wishing the best for them. So, wrapping everything up, all the lessons I'm sharing here with you, I want to be real with you for a second. And that is, you have to choose your worth over your wounds every single time. You have to choose yourself over that version of you that just wants validation from someone who couldn't see your value. But maybe you're thinking right now, but Bushra, I don't even know how to value myself anymore. Listen to me. Look what you've survived. Look at the nights you cried yourself to sleep and still woke up the next morning and still showed up for a new day. Look at how you're still here watching videos in order to heal your heartbreak. That is resilience, my friend. That is strength. And that deserves so much respect. So much. And why am I sharing all of this? Because I know that you deserve respect. Because someone who doesn't know their worth will accept crumbs. I've been there. They will go back to people who treat them poorly because they think that's all they deserve. But that's not you anymore. That is not who you are becoming. There is one wish I have for you, and that is you to see how valuable you are, how loving you are. And you know, through all of this, what happened? My faith started getting stronger than anything. I started trusting God. He answered my prayers, and trusting myself for the way I showed up for the lesson, for everything. So here is what I realized. If God has something for me, nothing can stop it. And if he doesn't, no amount of begging, pleading, convincing will make it stay. So when I stopped trying to force my life to go my way and I started trusting how it was unfolding, that is when real peace came, inner peace. And for those of you who've already been watching my videos for a long time, yes, I'm still in surrender mode and it's so good here. And the last thing I want to say, letting go is not the same as giving up. Letting go comes from trust. I believe something better is coming. Giving up comes from fear. I quit because I am scared. So before you make any decision, ask yourself, am I doing this from love or from fear? Am I trusting the process or am I trying to control it? So if you're watching this at 2 a.m., if you just had another breakdown, if you're wondering when this pain will end, let me tell you something as someone who's been exactly where you are. You don't need them to come back to prove you are worthy. You don't need closure from someone who broke you. You don't need an apology that's probably never coming anyway. And if it comes, okay, but still, what you need is to choose yourself. What you need is to stop making yourself small for someone who couldn't handle your light anyway. You don't need to be chosen by anyone, my friend. You choose you. That is where your real power lives. That little girl, that little boy inside of you is waiting for you to hold their hand and to protect them. That was my game changer. Promising this little one inside of me that she has me. And I'm telling you all of this. Why? Because I believe with my whole heart that you will attract exactly the right person when you become the right person for yourself. When you know your worth. When you won't settle for less than you deserve. When you choose peace over chaos every single time. And that version of you, they are already inside of you. They are just waiting for you to choose them. And listen, this isn't just about relationship I'm talking about, okay? This principle of choosing yourself, it applies to everything. That job that is draining your soul, those friends who only call you when they need something, or that family member who always makes you feel small. Same energy, same choice. When you master yourself in your heartbreak, you master choosing yourself in life. And that is when everything changes. Your career, your relationships, your friendships, your manifestations, everything, your whole reality shifts, okay? So if this hit different, you know that I talk about self-leadership, spiritual alignment, setting boundaries, creating your life from your worth. Because I believe that everything is connected, that it's all connected. Okay, so we're at the end of this video. Don't keep this video for yourself. If you know someone who needs to hear this video, send it to that person. Share it with someone who's going through their own heartbreak and doesn't know if they'll make it through. And leave a comment and tell me exactly where you are in your healing journey. I read every single one and I am here cheering you on. And if you are going through a heartbreak right now and you want to know all the shifts I applied, all the lessons I realized, I created YouTube videos from my pain. So if you want to know all the shifts I made, watch this playlist. It's all for you, from me. I've been through it for you. And if you want more of this talk about choosing yourself and building the life you deserve, subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay? You got this. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.